This is Byron and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 184 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
Big show today. We've got a Racket number one leading off near and dear to our hearts. It is. It actually is a really big show. We have another, not a love story, but another breakup story.
Totally break. Well, it's kind of like it's the step before breaking up.
Yeah. So very coincidental coming off of episode 183. If you haven't checked that out, please do that after you watch this entire episode. And by the way, if you're here and unsubscribed, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this with somebody who can benefit from the topics that we're discussing here today. And then we have a huge real estate acquisition in the Marketeer section.
Huge.
Huge. I mean, they didn't disclose terms, but it's huge.
Huge.
All right, let's jump right into it. This is right in our home state, Nicole.
It is in our home state. It's happening actually to us.
CT Realtors, Public Act 21-167, the real estate professionalism and team. So there's two things here. They made some switches to the brokerage requirements, if you want to be a broker, those requirements. And then they also made some new team laws. We're not going to cover the broker experience, but basically, what was that? 15,000 hours instead of 2 years. So there you go. A couple changes there. We're going to get right into the new real estate team law in the state of Connecticut. Okay. So what is, are you going to switch it, Bobby, here for me? I don't know. He was drawing over there.
He is doing a lot of drawings. He's doing a lot of pen drawings.
I want to go through, this is an email, so there's not a link. So I'm just going to we're going to go through it with you guys all together. We have a team in the state of Connecticut, so we're paying very close attention to this. So what is the new law? Effective January 1st, 2022, the act establishes a legal definition of a team and what is required of all real estate teams. So there was never a legal definition of a team in the state of Connecticut. In the comments, is your state operating with a legal definition for a team? I know there's lots of them are, or is your state currently not operating with a legal definition for a team? Okay, so a team is defined as a group of two or more Connecticut licensed real estate brokers or real estate salespersons affiliated with the same sponsor and real estate broker and engaged in advertising as a group using a team name. So they've now come up with this definition. That's their definition, two or more. Okay, great. So you have a definition now. What are permitted and prohibited as a team name? This is where it gets interesting because there's a lot of teams in the state that have been operating with different team names for a long time, building a brand.
Right?
The
brand has been built.
Brands have been built.
Yep.
Brands might shatter.
Brands are shattering.
So team names.
Signs are changing.
There's going to be lots of things changing.
Lots of money being spent.
This is a long email. By the way, this is only the third email Connecticut Association of Realtors sent out on this topic. They sent one out in the first quarter of the year. Then they sent one out in April. They actually have the dates in here with the two notices referenced. So 2 emails and then just a jam job.
Huge jam. I'm actually surprised that the people sponsoring brokerages didn't reach out to the teams directly that were going to be affected by this.
This was totally like just, it was supposed to, I guess, happen in 2022 is the rumor, if anything happened, or more discussion.
Well, it is January 1.
Yeah, it goes into effect.
Yeah.
But supposedly it was supposed to be more discussion. We'll get into, they had a task force. I think it was a task force of one, but here we go. So what's permitted and what is prohibited as a team name? So it must include full name of at least one licensed real estate broker or real estate salesperson who is part of the team, or be immediately followed by at sponsoring brokerage. Okay, and so there's examples below. Must include the name and contact information of the real estate broker, prominent location in all of the team's advertisements. Now, this goes into effect again January 1st, 2022, but they do not know how big the broker needs to be next to the team yet. They're just saying, hey, you've only got 5 months to figure this out, but we can't tell you exactly how big it has to be on the signs because we don't know yet.
Right. Well, it kind of
but it's effective January 1st.
It reminds me of when the septics, when your well was going into your septic, and they're like, you can't do that anymore, but we don't have anything for you to follow, no guideline to follow.
So there's no clear direction of what a team, other than what the team names prohibited and not prohibited, which we're going to continue here in a second, how they can advertise, but you have to cease all, signage and all this stuff really immediately because if you read on, it says it's.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Anyways, Shall not include, an individual shall not include abbreviation or team or phrase. And these are the words you can't use.
But
Associates.
not limited to. Yeah.
Not limited to. So there's more.
Yeah.
Associates, company, corporation, group, LLC, real estate, realty. So that all implies that the team is a business entity, which, by the way, the top teams, the ones that are actually, doing the majority of the business in a state like Connecticut and other states,
are a business entity.
They usually are an S corp or an LLC. So they are business entities. And in fact, most of the top teams in states right now employ far more people, make a much more significant impact on communities than these boutique brokerages of one individual with a broker's license who appears to be this big company, has no W-2 employees, provides no employment to their state, their community that they live in. I mean, our team here in Connecticut, we just brought on 4 more W-2s just yesterday, to add to our list of W-2s, which obviously impact the state at such a great level. We are going to be in our new studio next week. I cannot wait. I don't know if you guys picked up the
every week now.
Yeah, the new office is being built out.
It's done.
We're not putting up a sign now, thanks to this
by
email.
The way, it's done. Just putting it out there. It's done.
Anyway, so examples of team names permitted.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Doe team, first name, last name.
Mm-hmm.
Allison Agent team. So
Allison Agent. Oh,
for example,
that's got to be her last name.
Jane Doe is a real estate licensee affiliated with real estate broker John Smith, who's a sponsoring broker at ABC Real Estate. Jane Doe performs real estate services with business entity ABC Real Estate under the supervision of John Smith. Jane wishes to set up a team with Allison Agent, another Connecticut licensee. Are you following that?
I am kind of. There's a lot of Johns and Janes. And Smiths.
I was on a phone call this morning. It sounds like it has to be first name, last name. You can't just do the first name or the last name.
No, they're saying you could do Jane and Allison team, but you have to include the brokerage, and that's why it's saying at. So these are the options that they're allowing them to have. It could be
but
Jane Doe.
Can you just do a last name? It doesn't say that you can or can't. Somebody was under the impression that you can't. Anyways,
why wouldn't you be able to?
Jane and Allison team.
Jane is no different than Doe.
ABC Real Estate. Sunrise team. So Sunrise is a made-up name unless it's somebody's last name.
No, because we have
Sunrise.
Allison Agent.
Yeah.
And we have Jane Doe. Did you read I feel like we're taking a test. Did you read? Now you got to figure it all out.
Names not permitted. Jane Doe Real Estate. Allison Agent Associates. The Jane and Allison Group.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Doe team powered at EXP Real Estate. ABC Real Estate. Powered by Sunrise team with ABC Real Estate. Okay, so those are not permitted anymore.
So you can't do with. It has to be at.
Can't do with. Has to be at.
Or what's the other one? It's at or for or of. I'm sorry, at or of. Yeah.
Or
at
of.
Or of.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at
or of.
At or of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is effective January 1st, and they got to require. Teams will be required to register online with the DCP.
That's what they're doing. They need our money.
The Department of Consumer Protection. The application will be posted in the fall of 2021, so you can start putting your applications in, but they will not be effective until January 1st. So Department of Consumer Protection. So CTR basically followed the lead of Department of Consumer Protection, DCP. You could call that the DBBP. Department of Big Business Protection, because that's who they're going to protect here in this instance. They're going to make it harder for small businesses, employing many people in the state to do business. And who are they going to protect? Who's the biggest business in real estate? Who is CTR too afraid? Department of Consumer Protection too afraid? The state of Connecticut too afraid to do anything to? Zillow. Zillow's just going to come. They're laughing at this. Oh, you little boards with small minds, and you're hiding behind the veil of protecting the consumer. Zillow's just going to come in and get more consumer brand awareness. They're going to get more consumers to use their brand while killing the little guy. How often does a team need to register, and what is the cost? Oh, what do you know?
It's all about the money.
What do you know?
Yeah.
Let's just make some money, state of Connecticut. I mean, somebody yesterday got the governor to sign. Governor, please sign this. Just please sign this. Look at all the money we're going to bring in. Just sign here. Just sign here, Gov. We don't need discussion from the real estate community. We sent out 2 emails. Let's just jam it down their throat, and we're going to have this new fee. Here we go. Let's get into it. Initial registrations are valid for 1 year and cost $565. Okay. Teams may apply for 1-year renewals for $375. A team must notify DCP about any changes to registration information or team transfers within 12 days of the change manner and pay another $25 fee. Right? Yeah. Tax. Okay, fine. Okay. You want to tax more? I understand. You want to tax. You want the money. Take the money. But you're going to invariably mess with a lot of people's businesses here. I mean, these taxes are not the cost of like completely changing a brand and all these types of things that some people are going to have to go through. So what will be required? There you go. We kind of covered that.
Well, but go up though. We now have to real estate team registration must include the team name, the name and contact information for each team member.
Yep. So you got to put each team member in there. Okay.
I wonder if they're going to charge you for adding team members, because we add team members often.
Now here's what I do like about this. Is there now a clear definition of forming a team? There's a lot of I've known people, one person that has called themselves group team before. I'm like, hey, who you got on the group? Well, it's just me right now, but I named it group to attract a group. You've seen that before where you got one person. So at least there's a definition. It creates a standard of which to operate. I'm okay with that. What is the responsibility for the broker? Obviously, the same. Other specific regulations. So this is where it's funny. It's like, okay, you've picked a date. January 1st is effective. You sent out 2 emails, Connecticut Association of Realtors, and now you're jamming it. You got the Gov. Way to go. You got the Gov to sign yesterday. But right now there's a statute, but advertising regulations are expected in the future. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I'm planning my 2022 now. I don't wait till December 15th, and you can't get signage and all that kind of stuff. Well, I mean,
we've already donated in our sponsors at events.
For example, the regulations are expected to require the company name be the same size and as prominent as any team name. The regulations are expected to require that the company name be the same size and as prominent as any team name. So brokerage, team, side by side, prominence. Okay. Who created these rules and why? Okay. There has been a work group at DCP, the Department BBP, considering concerns of the public, industry, and the DBP staff. Okay. This all started with one individual at the DCP, former real estate agent, been in the business a long time, has not employed many people throughout that long career. And so this was a work group, potentially force of one, somebody speaking in echo chamber, and CTR basically just rolled over here for the DCP because they sent out 2 emails. They never really included the brokers, the teams, the agents. They've gotten some issues from consumers on confusion, and that's really where they're going with this. Is consumers
totally get it?
Hey, is that a broker? Is that a team? Is that an agent? What is going on here?
Yeah.
And so that's where they're at on this. Basically, who created the rules and why? There has been a work group force of one. There was concerns about a lack of transparency as to why it was being advertised to the public as a real estate agency. So basically, they sent out 2 emails and made massive changes on the 3rd email because of some concerns. They don't reference studies. They don't reference conversations with the industry. Concerns included the creation of names without legal authority to operate without a business license or any visual apparent relationship between what was being advertised in its connection to the real estate brokerage. So some concerns come in, boom, massive changes, no discussion.
Well, it's interesting though, because there are advertising rules. I mean, the amount of even just single agents that aren't even following the advertising rules. I mean, I feel like there were probably lots of steps in between where we were and where we are. But
here's the question. I think it's an important question. How did CTR, Connecticut Association of Realtors, advocate
for the industry?
For the industry.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the real estate industry. The legal interpretation from the state was that teams could not advertise, provide real estate brokerage service since they were not licensed businesses. The primary issue for CTR was to permit teams to be able to advertise to the public. So they want CTR saying, we want to keep teams.
Yeah, of course.
We want to keep teams.
That's the right move.
First of all, they know it's better for the industry.
Mm-hmm.
How many solo agents are out there on their own with no training, no support? A lot, by the way. Teams have completely helped this industry be more transparent, provide better service to consumers. So they're fighting for, let's keep teams. Let's just do whatever the DWP asks us to do. The state requirements were crafted to provide what DCP legislative leaders and others stated would be necessary to provide transparency. Okay, the state requirements were crafted to provide what? So they just said, okay, what are you going to make us do, DCP?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How can you guys make a buck, and how can we keep our money coming into CTR?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What notice did CTR provide to the membership about this? Here it is.
Yeah.
One email on February 12th.
It wasn't even, it was a newsletter. It was a newsletter. Yeah.
A newsletter email.
Mm-hmm.
A newsletter email on February 12th. And then there was an update sent, a 1-paragraph update on April 13th. And then next thing you know, on July 26th, 7th, whatever yesterday was.
26th.
A jam job. Hey, by the way, this afternoon, Gov Lamont just signed this little act. Everything's changing. There you go. Way to go. And listen, CTR continues to work. This was the latest update, April 13th.
That they can, it's all about advertising.
They continue to ensure teams may be permitted to advertise in Connecticut. So it's like, hey, we just want to make sure teams, that was the initial DCP last year when this conversation started at DCP last year was want to do away with teams. Want to do away with teams. That was the initial conversation. So CTR's pushed back against that. At least they did something.
Will existing names be grandfathered? No.
Yeah. And so it goes on and on. We can't link this up because this is an email. What are some of the other important questions that maybe somebody's thinking about in their state, or if they're in Connecticut, that might interest them? So these details, again, expected to be in future regulations. You can't be grandfathered.
Marketing material.
Do I need to change all my signs and all this? DCP provide information when it's available. When it's available, we don't know. You guys, if you've been doing this, you're screwed. But we don't know how you can change it, what you can do, what's going to be legal, what's not going to be legal. When can I use the marketing materials I have? Can I use the marketing materials I have now until January 1st? And they're just like,
read the rule.
Read the current rule.
Yeah.
There you go. We're not going to take any stance there. If I have a TBA, okay, when will I be able to register my team? The application will be prior to January 1st, but then after January 1st, no, because of that. If I don't register my team, can we still operate as a team?
Operating is different from advertising.
Yeah, you can operate. That's interesting. You can operate as a team. Nobody can stop you as operating from a collective. But if you advertise, different story. You operate however you want. But once you advertise, different story. Okay. And so then there you go. That's it. That's where we're at on that. Nicole, what's your thoughts? What do you like? What do you not like about the? And obviously, this is in our state, so this impacts us. You know, we run a team.
Yep.
What do you like, not like?
So I guess I understand about the transparency side. I mean, there are lots of times, we have to admit that people are asking if we're our own brokerage or, so I do understand that. And I do actually love the idea of, and again, getting rid of even just the single agents that are trying to turn themselves into a business that's not really a business, right? Yeah. So I do appreciate the effort and what it is that they're trying to accomplish. But
did they rush into this by sending out 2 emails?
Well, the first email was February and now it's July, and
this task force
completely uplifting our entire business.
You've had a task force within the DCP who heard some concerns from the public, right. not a study, not a survey of the public, but some concerns, a collection of concerns, their words. Mm-hmm. In communication with CTR from February until July, they've got enough information to make sweeping changes.
Oh yeah, these are. I mean, and they're done. I mean, this is changing
this is locked and loaded. The Gov, we got them to sign it. Way
businesses
to go, Gov.
that are businesses. Yeah.
So did they rush into it?
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who'd they even talk to?
So, there should have been more discussion with the brokerages for sure, because you're going to see now teams go brokerage. Okay. Leave the brokerage, leave the broker that they've affiliated with maybe for a long time, that they have a great mutual respect for, that they've worked really well together. They've served the community well. And now you're going to see more brokerages, and it's so funny. It's like you can have this mom and pop brokerage of one person, right? A boutique brokerage, but because they've decided to go brokerage, they're one person. They can appear like they're some big company, but they're not employing anybody.
Right.
They're not doing any good for the community. The more these big teams grow and actually employ people, the more tax is being created, far more than the little $300, $565 fees that they're going to collect. It feeds people's families. It grows communities.
Well, I think
you're holding people back from building businesses, and you're letting Zillow come in and eat your lunch. CTR, Connecticut Association of Realtors, and any other board in any other state that's doing something like this, that's focusing their time here and letting the Department of Consumer Protection just add fees instead of actually caring about consumers. What you're doing is you're eating your own, and you're creating an atmosphere where companies like Zillow can take more, because Zillow doesn't care about the National Association of Board of Realtors. They probably don't even care about the DWP. Double BP.
Double
BP.
I feel like you keep changing it.
Yeah.
Double B. And
they're going to get bigger. They're going to get stronger because of things like this, because you're taking people, entrepreneurs that want to grow a small business to serve their community, and you're putting more regulation on them. You're making it harder for them to compete. So this goes against what our president wanted in the last Real Word, where he wants it to be easier for real estate agents to be licensed, to work in multiple states, to compete.
Well, that's what's interesting too, is because if you get a team in here that is called company from another state.
Gov Lamont, call your boy, Joe B.
I wonder if we move our license to Rhode Island. Like maybe our main office should be in Rhode Island. Are we allowed to still be here advertising that way?
I don't know. But it's interesting.
It is.
I like the fact.
A lot to chew on. It makes your brain kind of spin.
I like the fact that they did go out and say we need a definition around this, because we're only
and be established as a true business.
I love it.
Yes,
love that.
Yes,
right.
Well, you were a huge supporter of that when I heard it in February, because you were hoping to kind of wash out the ones that we're doing.
But no team committee, no agent committee, no brokerage committee.
Or at least ask you, how are you running your team? Yeah, how is your team run?
Just a task force within the Department of Consumer Protection. No consumer committee, no consumer feedback, except for a certain amount of concerns on one side of this conversation. So poor job, in my opinion, certainly by the Connecticut Association of Realtors. DCP had an agenda. They fulfilled their agenda, and CTR, you guys rolled over. So total racket on their part.
There's that. All
right, racket number 2. How telling a couple to get counseling led to 4 more deals. By the way, I'd love to know where your state sits on the team thing in the comments. Love to know. Share this with somebody.
Or if you're in the state of Connecticut, how is this going to affect your business?
Absolutely.
Too?
So if you're in the state of Connecticut, how's it impacting you at all? If you're in a state that has a definition for team, love to hear from you. Love for you to share this with the team. Love for you to subscribe to for more content like this. How telling a couple to get counseling led to 4 more deals is racket number 2. This is an Inman article, and we've got big Inman news in the next segment. Buying or selling will always be stressful to some degree. As an agent, recognizing conflict is a critical skill that needs to be developed and honed. We did a topic last week about people break up.
And then move.
How do they move?
Yes.
Where do they move? This is another breakup story.
Well, no,
here.
This is us trying to keep them together.
Oh, trying to keep them together.
This is us sending them to therapy so that they can make decisions without fighting.
Yeah, real estate agents take on many titles regarding their relationships with clients: agent, advisor, coach, fiduciary, mentor. The list is long and varied. maybe team, maybe not team. We don't know. Can they call themselves team? All right. So a lot of stress in the transaction. And so there's one other title that seldom comes up: relationship counselor. Nicole, do you think it's your role to be counseling couples on their relationship as you're helping them buy, sell, invest in real estate?
I am not a licensed social worker, psychologist, psychiatrist. No, I'm not. Obviously, it is our responsibility, though, to understand each feelings, and whatever I can do to try to help them come together on a decision is clearly my job, but certainly not to help them with their I mean, I got my own relationship issues. I mean, we all do. I mean, for me to then sort of hone in on theirs is stepping a little over. But
there's a lot of these life coaches, marriage coaches, where it's like, they want to talk about how great, they can help you with marriage, and then you ask, oh, you're on your third
or they've
husband?
Never been married.
You're on your third husband. You're gonna counsel me on, maybe because you've done it so many times.
I don't like the word counseling, but again, I mean, obviously what is our job is to help them, overcome obstacles or conflict or negatives, positive. I mean, that is the job. But
along with death and marriage, you say this all the time: death, divorce, death, marriage. Two of the most stressful events in anyone's life. A recent Harris poll confirms what may have known all along. It's not only a taxing experience, but it can produce conflict. Okay, so the poll underscores specific issues causing tension while looking for homes. Actually, maybe Bobby, we could go back to it too. Yeah, we can get this back up.
Look at us, might as well. We're all dongled up.
So here's the poll. Also underscores specific issues, tension while looking for home. 54% of couples disagreed over the style or size of a property. You ever get that disagreement? 54% of couples,
of course,
disagreed over the style or the size.
And most of the time, it's because 9 times out of 10, the husband grew
up.
Oh,
blame it on him. Sure.
Well, I'm just saying, in some situations, it's the husband grew up in a certain style home, and he
can't see past that Cape Codder.
Maybe, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And same thing with the wives. I mean, they both grew up in a certain,
47% clashed over what constituted must-haves or deal breakers. I gotta have, a 2-bay garage, and maybe the other one is saying, we gotta have that third bathroom, right? Those kind of things. Which one are you gonna give up on?
Well, that's always.
In your price range?
That's totally not. But even when you have a must-have, it doesn't mean you can afford it. So it's really making sure you're
within your budget. Well, what you can usually do is you've got to give up one of the must-haves. If
you always have to give up something
of a second bay garage or
you have to go therapy over
bathroom.
that. We have bigger issues.
There you go.
Yeah.
42% argued over location and neighborhood.
Okay.
That's a big one. I think that should be the starting point. Like, where do you guys want to be before we even look at homes? Where do you want to live? What's your locale?
Well, I mean, that's the most important, unless you're running around like an idiot.
37% quarreled over budget issues. Yeah, for sure. Somebody wants to spend more money. 29% sparred over the condition of the home they were willing to buy. Hey, we can fix that. That's not a big deal. I'm okay with that. So there you go. That's the study. And these are common things. You hear this all the time. So here's the thing. The person that wrote this, which was for Inman, Carl Medford. Carl says, honestly, build relationships. In one extreme case, I reckon that a couple go, stop looking at homes. Stop. Time out. Here we go. Too much arguing here. And seek qualified marriage counseling. Now, this could have backfired. They could have then banded together and be like, you're going to tell me.
You need the therapy.
You're going to tell me, little real estate agent,
oh my gosh,
that I need to go get
You've
marriage
known me for
counseling?
5 minutes. I met you on Zillow.
We've been together 20 years here, pal. Excuse me?
Yeah. I'll find someone else.
I didn't meet you on... what is it? Bumble? What's the one? Tinder? I didn't meet you on Tinder, bro. I met you on Zillow.
Yeah, right.
There you go. They took his advice though, so he was safe there. It would have been a tragedy to help them purchase a house only to sell it a short while later due to divorce. So he was predicting divorce here.
Wow.
And what ends up happening after a year in counseling, they contacted me again, and over the next few years, we did 4 real estate transactions together. So it seems like they stayed together. And maybe bought and sold, maybe did some flips. I don't know what they did, but they did 4 transactions in the next few years. Maybe he kept them together. They bought a house, divorced, sold the house, bought 2 more, and then I don't know. It doesn't say that. That's not how it worked. But not all clients have been so lucky. So we've seen other couples unable to agree and then come to the realization that their attempts at buying a home to maybe fix the relationship.
Of course,
hey, let's buy the home. It's gonna fix all our problems.
Yep.
Perfect home. Now, when it comes to sellers, the survey showed that 69% of couples disagreed over the list price. Somebody wants more money, won't budge, refuses to budge. The other person really just wants to sell.
Right.
Can understand where maybe the broker, the agent, maybe even the team is coming from on that price.
Well, and
wants to go forward with that price.
And that's your job, is to show them the numbers, the signs, what it's worth, where you can go. I mean, that's your job, not to tell them to go to therapy over that.
Would you ever in any situation tell a couple you're working with to go seek marriage counseling or get therapy?
Never.
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 You're never lending that
Never.
bit of advice. Okay.
No way. Are you kidding me? What? Mm-mm.
No, you're not into it.
Nope.
You don't want to do life coaching on the side?
Personally?
Yeah.
No.
I think that's a little bit of a racket. It was a big
life coach.
It was a big risk for him to.
My kids don't even brush their teeth. I'd be a horrible life coach. Are you kidding me?
It was. Remind me not to get too close to Nate Dogg next time I see him.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a risk. It worked out for him in that situation. I could see it backfiring. You know, I'm going to go
at the end of the day, we are therapists. I agree. I agree to that. But
keep it in the transaction.
Right.
Hey,
but I'm not recommending them go elsewhere.
And I might say, listen, you guys can agree. You know, a real estate transaction might not be the best thing right now.
Right.
Until we really have an understanding of what we want to buy. But I'm not going to go. Yeah, I'm not going to go recommending marriage counseling personally. Okay, Marketeer of the Week. Congratulations, Brad Inman.
Congratulations.
Obviously, Inman has been very kind to us, you know, allowing us to stream this podcast or, you know, write on Inman, weekly for, I don't know,
few years
4 years.
Now. Yeah.
4+ years. I think I was writing even before Nicole White on Inman. So Inman's been very kind to us. Congratulations, Brad. You've been at it for 25 years, and Brad Inman has sold, keeping a percentage, keeping a stake in the company being acquired by Beringer Capital. This is a hedge fund. Hedge fund, is it? What are they? Beringer Capital, private equity firm. Canadian private equity firm, which previously owned media company Adweek. So they've acquired Inman, okay? And they want to double the size here in the near future. But this is more about Brad. 25 years. I've always said
he took it I think it sounds like he took it as far as he could, and now looking just to go larger. He's 68 years old. Yeah. Yep, right there. Go up there. 68. Yep.
So he's 68 years old, and he basically said, I wanted to worry about it less. He's going to stay involved. To me, that means he's probably going to show up at some events, live events. Probably going to do some interviews. He's going to sit on the board. He's going to have a chair. And you know, he did it for 25 years. When people always ask me, what is Inman? What is that? I always said, it's the ESPN of real estate, sports center of real estate. It's where you go. It is the go-to place to get your news about this industry. It's moved the industry forward. You know, we've been in debates, heated and not so heated debates and discussions within the Inman community. It moves the conversation forward. Something, going back to Racket number 1, CTR should have done with their decision, which is move the conversation forward, not just make a snap decision. Inman's been great about moving industry conversations forward. And so it sounds like they've got a partner who they say value, priorities, and closely aligned with our own. The CEO is staying on board. The staff is staying on board.
Everything sounds like it's staying the way that it is. Just time to double it up.
They said Inman is the best out there, and that was pretty clear to us in our due diligence. This is Beringer saying that. So there you go. Inman bought out, acquired. Brad staying on as a chair. Beringer, we'd love to continue.
Yeah, congratulations to you.
Congratulations to you. And we, as the real word, would love to continue. Maybe you bump us up. Maybe you put us at, or just let us continue.
Let's start there.
Let's start there. We love you, Beringer. Way to go. All right. Love your comments. Love for you to subscribe to this channel if you're on YouTube. Share this with somebody. And love to see you in the comments. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.